Hi guys, welcome to PV Me. My name is Dane, and this is our second episode. We're going to be starting off talking about heroes and how they can be used for PVE. And this deck is based on one of my favorites classes back from when I used to play YOJI TCG. And in YOJI TCG, I used to play Alliance PALADIN. And this deck is YOJI. You might have seen him before. This comes back from Dynasty. And YOJI is the first kind of idea that I have for a hero where it's really about looking after the party, preventing the damage. And I built this deck with some help from the national champion in Vietnam, Minh Quang. He used this for PVE, and I played this, and I won one of the judge tournaments with it for UPF. And I really liked this deck, and I said, okay, how do we take this and turn it into a PVE deck? So YOJI's main ability is once per turn, pay 3. The next time another target hero will be dealt damage this turn, instead that damage is dealt to your YOJI and prevent one of that damage. So you're already shrinking the damage by a bit by just taking that damage, but at the same time also it gives you an idea of being able to support yourself by healing yourself a lot. Let's start by looking at the equipment. A lot of the equipment comes from around the table box set. Bastion of Duty with the keyword protect. You may defend a hero attacked by an opponent with this. It again has temper, and so it's really good. You can put it in front, and in this format it's a good start off a shield. There is a better one, we'll get that into our side inventory, but we want to start off with this to really block for our allies. Civic Guide, again you're getting that extra trigger, having temper, and then also creating a might token under a party member's control, so you can really help buff the warrior. Civic Peak, whenever it defends, another target hero draws a card. Again, you can give that card to maybe the wizard, and they can then do something extra in their turn. Again, temper. So you just putting a bit of a blanket on your life. And again, a quicken token, maybe giving that to another warrior, gives that extra attack. Tectonic Plate, obviously it's a good way for you to recycle your cards. You might have cards in your hand that you don't want to use. You can just pitch the one and then recycle that card away. It also has Battle Worn, so it lasts a little bit longer. And then your main weapon for the deck is Titan's Fist. Again, 3, and then attack. While the card with 3 or greater in your pitch zone, it has +1. Quite a number of the cards have it, and you really want to push away the blue. So that is just the basic equipment. In the inventory, it's also all equipment, and we'll go through that in a bit. Blessing of Patience. At the start of your turn, Blessing of Patience, target hero gains 3 life. You can give yourself, or you can give it to another member in your group, which is great. Drone Brutality gives you some options at late game. You start running out of cards. It keeps recycling back, but it also pairs well with Nourish of Emptiness. It doesn't get in the way of Nourish of Emptiness, getting the Dominate and giving that +1 card. Enchanting Melody, go again. When you dealt damage instead, turn 20, prevent 4 of that damage. And it just sits there. You're playing a lot of non-attack cards, so it just sits there and does that prevention. Fate Foreseeing, again, defense reaction, very important in the PvE format like Teklocrow did. Healing Bomb's great. It lets you gain the life, as well as then you can just sit there on your turn, and it keeps your melody around. Nourish Emptiness, as I said earlier, we all know it, attacks in for 6, but it does give you +1 on knowledge, and it has Dominate if there's no attack action cards in your graveyard. So again, Drone of Brutality cycles away, goes directly back into your deck, it's not an issue. Peace of Mind, it prevents damage, and then also creates a Ponder token. Sigil of Solace, another great card, generic instant, gain 3. Sink Below, again, defense reaction. And then the Guardian reactions. And again, you can use this to defend for yourself or for your ally. And you can pay that extra cost and then pump it to 10 block, which is great. One of the biggest things about PvE that Teklocrow created is that equipment do not reset between your actual encounters, only your deck. So you really, really want to focus on actually having your deck do most of the blocking. Sun Kiss, gain 3 life. You don't really worry about the second part, but just gaining that 3 life just keeps you above. Unmovable, again, another great thing. You can set it up in your arsenal, blocks for 8 and only costs you 3. Tome of Fendel gives you an extra 2 cards, and then if you play from your arsenal, you also gain the life. So you can really sit there And if your allies can also help you draw an extra couple of cards, you can gain that extra life, and later on you can absorb the damage. Chivalry lets you protect. Again, it's a bit of a filler card. I'm still looking at trying to find something that's better that fills it. Drone of Brutality Blue, again, it gets shuffled directly back in, it gets put back in the library. So again, it just stays out of the way of your Nourish of Emptiness. Heart of Fendel. Again, you don't need this. I know it's quite an expensive card. You can easily put in an EPOP or any other blue card, but it does give you that extra 1 life gain, and normally your life is going to be below the villain, so you can just gain that extra little bit of life. Never Yield, again, not a extremely useful card, but it does give you an opportunity to draw an extra card if you have the least amount of life for Euros, and then you also take off -1 counters, which is relevant in this format. Again, Stonewall Confidence. Whenever Stonewall enters the arena, cards you control with 3 or greater gain +2 defense. This is a late encounter card you want to play, because then you get mostly left with blue cards in your hand. Terror Sunder, giving you a weapon dominate, and also forcing a discard, very important. This round's on me, again, just getting you draw an extra card, and then giving you -1 attacks that's on you. And also, if you play with the PVE formation that was designed by me, it means that generally most of the villain's allies are going to be attacking you, and you're kind of soaking that damage. And then a movable blue. All of this blue obviously gives attack for play for 3, and then you can attack with it, and then you get the +1. But at the same time, also YOJI, you have most of the time a 3 cost. You can just prevent the damage. You won't be doing too much on your turn. You're really just setting yourself up the whole time to defend for your allies. Maybe get a 1 or 2 cheeky little attacks in with your hammer, but in general, you're sitting there just to tank the damage. In the deck also has Civic Duty, create a Vigor token, Euro control. It's an extra chest plate. Again, once a equipment is destroyed, you have to swap it out. You can start off with this and then move on to use the Tech-Line plate if you want. You get that extra defense. Creative Fists, again, also have temper, but it does have the option of destroying it and then creating that crush +2 if you need it in desperation. Crown of Providence, again, lets you shuffle away. It's great. Federal Spring Tunic, obviously it's a great card, but it's extremely good in this PvE format. The fact is that you don't need to block with it, and it's constantly doing something. It doesn't require destroy. It just sits there and creates that extra bit of resources for you. Null Hood, it depends what you normally do, but in general, maybe 1-2 arcane damage if it's coming through. Again, it depends on what PvE encounter you're going to be doing, but have one in your back pocket maybe is a great idea. Now this card, Rampant of the Ram's Head, is okay in most formats, was really good with Odin, but it's extremely good in PvE format. Simply put, is the fact is it does not have a break trigger, and then you literally just defend constantly. With multiple allies coming in, each one of them can be considered a separate attack, so you can actually defend constantly and pump it up. I would start off with Bastion of Protection. You don't need to put any resources into it to block with, just to get out the way. But then the first chance you could change your equipment, I would do that. Thanks guys for joining me. I hope you found the deck list interesting. I will put it into the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe.
This is a corrupted and cruel world that we are part of. One in which the powerful devour the weak.
You waste your time bringing us this doom, and that will be your last mistake, you pathetic cripple. Bring it over here. You are a burden to all of us. Let it go, and you will pay for it with your blood.
You are weak. Cannot even find the
Never.
prey.
I
Cripple.
am not.
it is over. I'll finish myself. That was not our deal.
Deals. I like a good bargain.
Who are you?
I've been weakened and bonded to this temple. A gruesome battle a long time ago severed parts of my power. But it will not be long before you join me here. Your death will come soon. Unless you wish that I extend it for you.
No.
Beyond your understanding lies a world with powers that your little mind cannot even grasp, you brute. A land where I rule. Serve me, and I will.
I said no! Give me your powers instead. I will conquer this land. Then I can give you what you want.
I see. Indeed. An interesting bargain.
Enough of this. I will not wallow to prove myself in this clan.
What the? In this world, those born with strength are born to be consumed, because true power can only grow by making it your own and paying its price. A price my vengeance will satisfy.